elite group, they are attached with such type of career. Being a conservation biologist, I can better understand what struggle I faced in 1992 when we started professionally our work there. So this is how you can transform your cousins into from electronic or virtual world to the real world. If you want me to get them associated, don't worry, we had got a very good network throughout globe, where the children's get interacted with each other through such type of platforms. Over to you, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes, can I add one line to this?
I was inviting you, ma'am, actually.
Okay.
No, ma'am,
so,
please go ahead, ma'am.
Yeah.
I was inviting you.
Yes.
I was inviting you the same.
Yeah, thank you. So I think Dr. Satyaprakash has explained it very nicely. So just one line to add, that we should give children a holiday which is close to nature, You can give them a holiday close to nature. Why taking them to other, that's what I said. So you give them a holiday which is close to nature. Yeah, that's what I want to say, right?
I think my answer is like very
One
well.
example of what Madam has said. Yeah, one example. What I did in my family, the youngsters, 3 years, 4 year children, what we did is that with their grandparents, we used to take them to the nature. There, at the age of 5, they were so much well aware with the nature that my mother, their grandmother, they were she was just showing, okay, bachcho, see, that is one bird, means dekho wo chidiya hai. So immediately that child said, no, nani, dadi, this is not a chidiya, this is red-vented bulbul. So she was pinpointing specifically. This is how we transform this. Yeah.
Thank you so much. My question has been so well answered that I think I'm really going to transfer it to my cousins. And being myself, I would say, being a youth, as Ma'am Vidhu said, that we have the power to adapt and moreover to understand, and we have a greater lifespan. So definitely taking that forward. And being the head of, like, being a secretary or something of the Eco Club, which Ma'am Sapna is a head of, I would definitely want to be in touch with Dr. Satyaprakash, because, to do something. And he said he's got a really good network, which is so nice of you, sir, to include us children's, and not just children's, but specifically that area. Like, usually what we see is old people or women or children, they are left behind when we are talking about the struggle, and you brought them to the main field. Hats off, sir.
I will just add to Madam Vidhu, Madam's discussion. Madam was stating about the involvement of youth. I was hearing that. So, Madam, in 2006-07, there was from Delhi. It was started the Indian Youth Climate Change Network, and the youngsters from Delhi University, they had just came in with my contact. And immediately I was just, because due to my age, I could not able to be the part of that network. But yes, as a mentor, we started the same thing. And today, that network is grown so much that internationally the youth are doing marvelous work in different fields. They had also started the green businesses. Similarly, adding on to Professor Abidin's and Professor Lyudmila's speech about the food safety and food security, my submission is simply that as per my experience throughout India, as well as the global part wherever I visited, I'd seen in India, because especially the question was for India, so I had seen that in Rajasthan, giving the example from Rajasthan, one part is having a very good production of certain food, but unfortunately that was not transferred to other places, or not get properly managed, and they are getting just wasted. So such type of scene is very common in every state, everywhere throughout India. So what my submission, and right now I'm sitting in Bikaner, one of the volunteers' house from where I am presenting, because I am on the wheels right now. So here you heard about the cancer train, which is coming from Punjab to Bikaner. And why this is cancer? Because of the heavy use of pesticides and insecticides. 18 plus times in a year the farmers are using. When I was giving the consultancy for the World Bank projects to convert this chemical agriculture to the organic or natural farming, at that time we had just simply assessed all these things and we could not find any of the biodiversity. So my submission is simply that presently in India, food safety is very important because food grains, food security is there. Unfortunately, the mismanagement, what the Professor Abidin has already mentioned, the mismanagement is going on, and we should, properly manage, because we have ample of food there and nutritious food there. Indigenous varieties of food systems are there. Unfortunately, they are not being managed, or they are overlooked by the governing system or the local bodies or the policymakers. I'm sorry to say this one. Okay, over to you.
So just 2 lines. Yeah, just 2 lines, if you permit. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am, please.
Yeah. So I just want to add here that the youth, they have to be part of the community. They have to adopt it, because why it happened in Rajasthan, that the food, as Dr. Satya Prakash is talking, because they made up their mind that they will not use insecticides and pesticides. It was the farmers who decided. They decided that they will not buy any insecticide or pesticide. And one more thing to the youth, that they should change their consumer habits. That is, they should use reusable things, not that they use and throw. That should not be there, because this is adding to the problem. So you can take your cup which can be reused. You can take a bottle which can be reused. Why to use and throw it? That is a bad thing. I hope the youth understands this. Then we can we can really, overcome this problem. Thank you so much. Thank you.
It was really inspiring, sir, and all the discussions that we had was focusing on that we have to have sustainability is coming within. We have to start thinking the sustainable solutions, the methods within ourselves only, and the practical aspects we have seen, as ma'am also said, Professor Vidhu ma'am, Abdin sir, ma'am, and Dr. Satya Prakash sir. They all have actually given the views that we can do, and we need to start. So for my key takeaway is that we have to start within where we are. Where we are, we need to start, and then things will gradually change. As ma'am said, and I'm really inspired by Dr. Satya Prakash Mehra sir and Vidhu ma'am, that we have to change our perception. Use of small things are there, that plastic, single-use plastics that we need to avoid.
My video. Yes.
All other sustainable methods, as sir also said, Abdin sir also defined about the use of pulses and how these different diseases are spreading. And now, as we see that so many new variants are coming. So this is just the climate change and all these things that we are using. So everything is interrelated, as all SDGs are interrelated. So Meghna ma'am, I think the time is, we can go ahead, because I can keep on discussing on this topic, and it is very close to my heart, but I think we have to start the next discussion.
We already have Dr. Syed. He has joined us.
For formally, I want to propose the vote of thanks from my side, that everybody has, and I would request Dr. Satya Prakash Mehra sir to just share that PPT and share his actually work that he has done, and would like my student is also so much motivated, and she's asking me to connect to you. So because we can also start doing such measures in our university also, sir. So definitely, sir, we look forward to. So I would like to thank each and every panelist for the discussions, and these discussions are actually required in the current scenario, because we are living in the world and we are responsible for the world that we live in. So sustainability is within ourselves, it's our choice, and we should go about it. So thank you all the panelists for so much practical views and enlightening session, and all the whatever was shared, these are actually the points that we need to take care in order to go into a good future that is there. So thank you everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir.
It was nice connecting with all the learned panelists. Thank you.
No, ma'am, because the discussion
is
can
all.
be made, because the, environment conservation is such a topic that it is, everything is interrelated, and such, it's a very broad topic that we can discuss and we can interrelate, and we can work upon it. That is there. So thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Abdin sir. Thank you, Dr. Satyaprakash Mehra sir. And I don't know, ma'am is there or not, but thank you. It was really delightful moment to have a good discussion with you and get the perspective about the different aspects that are there that contribute towards this SDG goals that we were focusing on. And we have covered almost all the goals in this session. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. So,
Thank you. I think it's over to Dr. Ajit. He shall be introducing our next speaker, honorable speaker. So
yes,
over to you, Dr. Ajit.
So can we have Dr. Syed Rizwan Ahmed Sahab here? Hello, sir. Can you please unmute and put your video on if it is possible? Am I audible to everyone?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, sir, I can.
Okay. Can you see me also? I cannot see you, but can you see me?
No, I cannot see you right now, sir.
Cannot see me. Okay. No, bro. I think there's some hitch here. No, you cannot see me.
No, I
Start my
not able to
video.
see. Okay.
You cannot see me, na?
No, sir.
Dr.
Not
Ajit,
yet.
you cannot see me?
Not yet, sir.
No.
I'm saying you can't see. That's what I'm trying to say. No?
So what's the problem? What's the?
You could be heard.
Are
Can you rejoin, sir? If you can, you rejoin once.
Yeah, I'll rejoin. I'll
Yeah.
rejoin. Okay. दिखाओ. Hmm. Hmm. हाँ, that's what I'm saying ना. But तुम्हारा भी ऐसे ही होता है when you teach.
No, ये some problem is coming ना.
अरे बता पहले.
ये बताओ in this.
इसमें नहीं होगा. इसमें जैसे you will do it will say कि memory full.
Yes, sir. You can join from the other device if it is possible. We are sorry for the delay, audiences. Thank you. Hello, Rizwan sir.
Check.
Sir, it's okay if we can go ahead without video. Is it fine? Hello, Dr. Ahmed. Hello. Can anyone confirm if I am audible or not?
Yes, sir, you are.
Yes, you are.
Thank you.
Recording in progress.
Then you have this. No, you have to catch it properly. Catch it like this.
Hello, can you? Hello? Can you hear me? Hello? Hello?
Yes,
Dr.
I can.
Ajit?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
I can hear you, sir.
You can see me also?
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Okay, sorry for the inconvenience. Should I start or there's some other
Yes,
speaker now?
Definitely, we can start.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yes, thank you, sir.
Yeah, please.
So our next session is independent session, where we have Dr. Syed Rizwan Ahmed. So, sir is a socio-religious, legal, political commentator, and he is known for his candid, frank, and heart-to-heart opinions and communications. Dr. Ahmed is going to speak about Mission Bharat, his initiative. Over to you, sir. Thank you very much for joining.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ajit. Thank you so much, Ms. Mansi Dholakia, for having me here and allowing me to share my small yet dream project. Myself, Dr. Syed Rizwan Ahmed. I am a practicing lawyer, and as Dr. Ajit introduced me, I am a socio-religious and political commentator. So coming to Mission Bharat, actually about 8 years back, I bought a small piece of land near Lucknow, 60 kilometers from Lucknow, near adjacent to a remote village called Mamarkapur in district Barabanki. So when we used to visit that small place, not farmhouse so rich people owe, it was just a piece of land which I had built a small house there. So I used to see those village kids, doing earth jobs and, helping their parents. And I could see that they are not studying. And when you see these things, they are the have-nots of society. You realize you have to give something back to society, which has given you, thank God, so much. So I happened to visit the government school of Mamarkapur, the primary school. And there I see, you know, it was pathetic. And it was a sort of an literacy scam in India. That if in class 8, the child knows how to write his or her name, you call him or her literate. And you then you say that the literacy standard of the nation is rising. And when we go there and we visit this government school, we see there are no classrooms. All the children from class 1 to class 5 are made to sit on the floor and under the tree, as they show in movies, and you know, and there's one teacher sitting there, hardly bothered what the kids are doing. So I thought, let's do something, and let's do something which covers the concept of nationalism, it covers the concept of social equality and communal harmony also. So this concept came in my mind that I thought first I'll open a school there. It will be my retirement plan also. But you know, my wife is also a teacher. So she said it is a big job opening a school, certificates, formalities, red tape and all. So I thought of opening an academy. So there was no better name for me than Mission Bharat. So what we have done, the first session is starting coming April. We picked up class 3 girls and boys. Right now, we have admitted 10 kids, 8 boys, 2 girls. We picked up them from the government school. Now, the whole idea is they will keep on studying in their mother school, which is the government school. Mission Bharat will be evening classes for 3 hours where we will take English, Maths, Computer Science, General Science, GK, and physical fitness. In physical fitness, we are taking yoga, PT, march pass, drills, and whatnot. So it will be a 3-hour session, 5 days a week, coming April 1st. So they will be reporting us at about 4 in the evening. We are hiring best of teacher who will initially take all the subjects. And then we are hiring the best of physical trainer instructor who is an NCC cadet, a young man, young chap. Now these kids, they are the poorest of the poor even in the villages. You know, the red card holders. Red card holders are the most poor people. There are 3 cards, red card, yellow card, white card. So these are red card holders. We are providing them with dresses, with bags, books. We are not changing their mode of education. That will remain Hindi, whatever they are learning in. We want to keep them in the comfort zone. Syllabus, we are following what they are already following. Hardly they are following, but still whatever books are prescribed for them. And then we will train them in these subjects, Maths, English, Computer Science, General Science, GK, and physical training. Now, why am I doing this? A thought came in my mind that these village kids, either they will keep on doing earth jobs. They are the people who are, you know, landless, children of landless laborers. The maximum what they will do, they will come to city and pick up small petty jobs. And it has always, I have always asked to myself कि जब भी एक गरीब किसान का बच्चा फौज में जाता है, with due respect to every person in the Indian Army, it's not the case कि हम गांव के थे and then our parents shifted to a city and I studied there, but still I continue to be called कि हम गांव के बच्चे हैं. No, the pure person who has not left the village, जब भी वो फौज में जाता है, वो राइफलमैन क्यों बनता है? जब भी एक गरीब किसान का बच्चा फौज में जाता है, वो ऑफिसर क्यों नहीं बनता है? वो ऑफिसर बन ही नहीं सकता. He cannot. He has not been groomed, trained, prepared to become an officer. The maximum what he will be a rifleman, with due respect to riflemen also. But what happens in the end? At the age of 38, they are retired. They join some institution. They carry their licensed gun. They become guards. They open the door for a person like Rizwan Ahmad, who has practically done nothing for the nation. He salutes me. And at the end of the day, 8 out of 10 Rizwan Ahmad do not even respond to his salute. They just walk in. They don't deserve this. These have-nots of the society have been cheated, betrayed by our political dispensation of this country since at least last 75 years. So why cannot we make a brigadier out of a landless laborer's son? Why can't we make a Air Force officer out of a landless laborer daughter? This was the thought which struck me. Giving them admission in class 3, starting this academy, we are preparing them for Sainik school. Sainik school prepares children for NDA and IMA. Mission Bharat is preparing them for Sainik school. These kids will be with me in class 3, 4, and 5, and after class 5, they will appear in Sainik school, which are governed by the Defense Ministry of India. There are about 35 Sainik schools in this country. Jitne bhi usme will get through. It is destined that one day, God willing, inshallah, they will become officers in the Indian Army. If I could not go to the border, maybe one day the children whom I teach, they will go to the border. Then in class 6, they will again have an opportunity to crack Sainik school, which is run by the state of Uttar Pradesh. Right now, we have 2 colleges in UP, which are Sainik schools run by Uttar Pradesh. The earlier one are being run by the Defense Ministry. And then after class 8, they will have a last opportunity to crack Sainik school. Again, they have exams 2 times, one after entrance exams, one after class 5 and one after class 8. So if tomorrow they wear the dress, they wear the stars, and these children of landless laborers won't even change their life, they will change the fortune of their parents, their family, their generations to come, and they will change fortune of that small remote village where I am starting, God willing, 1st April, Mission Bharat. So this is the idea of nationalism, and from class 1, from class 3, we will inculcate in them nationalism. We will show them documentaries of Paramveer Chakra, war movies, 26 January, etc. Many things like this. Now, this is whole idea about my being nationalism, you know. If you are nationalist, it should reflect. Even if I, in my life, make 3 children of landless laborers officers in the Indian Army, मैं समझूंगा मेरा हज हो गया. This is how I have been taught to live, and this is how I define nationalism. Now, as I said, it epitomizes social equality. I am giving admission to people who have been, as I told, cheated and betrayed by us, by me, by all of us, by our political parties, by our bureaucrats, everybody, because I have seen them poor. I have seen them very poor. And today also I see them very poor. Now, what is my idea about in the same thing? In the third thing is, this mission will epitomize communal harmony. Now, from communal harmony, I have kept away that cliched statement of Hindu, Muslim, Sikh, Isai, aapas mein hai, bhai, bhai. My idea of secularism is something different. Within the premises of Mission Bharat, we are supposed to wish, we are supposed to share pleasantries only by Jai Hind and Vande Mataram. No one is supposed to wish the teacher good morning, good evening, namaskar, salam, sat sri akal, nothing, not at all. We have to exchange only Jai Hind and Vande Mataram. Mission Bharat will never celebrate Eid Milan, Holi Milan, Diwali Milan, etc. Mission Bharat will celebrate 26 January, Yog Divas, 15th August, birth anniversary of Subhash Chandra Bose, birth anniversary of Chandrasekhar Azad, birth anniversary of Sardar Bhagat Singh, and likes. You celebrate Holi, you celebrate Eid at your place. I will come to your place. I will eat sweets there. I will wish you, you wish me. We will celebrate it together, but not on the platform of Mission Bharat. Mission Bharat is dedicated to Bharat Mata. Mission Bharat is accountable to Bharat Mata. We are accountable to no one but a living entity whom I called Bharat Mata. Every classroom will be decorated with the portrait of Bharat Mata. Every room will be decorated with the portrait of Bharat Mata. And these children will be groomed to be perfect citizens, to be super citizens. Tomorrow, God willing, super army officers and super army men who will serve the nation in society and at the border. So this is how, this was my idea. This is my retirement plan. This is my dream. Whatever I have done in my life with regards to my making money or my popularity or people who believe in me, this is the way I am returning their gesture. This is the way I am returning to this Mother Earth, Bharat Mata, whatever she has given me. Until I live, I will be running Bharat Mata. And yes, this project is not on charity. We are not seeking charity from anyone. God willing, God and Allah has been very kind to me. Where monetary status goes, He has been very kind to me. And Bharat Mata is my project. I only need your cooperation. I only need your support, your well wishes. Except that I need nothing, absolutely nothing with a capital N. So this is the whole idea of Bharat Mata, and thank you, Mansi, for allowing me this opportunity to share with. And yes, one thing more. The students, the dress of the students will be camouflage army dress. The teachers will be in army dress, of course, without insignias and stars. And the classrooms will be prepared like bunkers with sand sacks and everything, just to give the end. Once these children reach class 5, we will be introducing horse riding, shooting, and war games and swimming. And we will also train them in all the things possible for small children in aerobics, acrobatics, war games, yoga. We have already prepared a yoga munch. We have done extensive plantation. We have planted about 100 odd trees to give it an ambience of a jungle. And we will have about 18 drills. And it has always bothered me कि जब भी गांव का बच्चा फुटबॉल खेलता है वो नंगे पांव क्यों खेलता है? गांव का बच्चा फुटबॉल बूट्स पहन के फुटबॉल क्यों नहीं खेलता है? We will provide them with sports kits. We will provide them with football boots, with all the facilities. And I want that when, if suppose in class 8, they come to the city and join any normal school, then the children of this city should feel कि ये लोग कहाँ से आए हैं कि इन्होंने वो सब काम किए हैं जो हमने आज तक नहीं किए हैं. I want these village children, and here's one thing more very interesting. They won't wish us by bending. I have prohibited bending in Mission Bharat. They have to be erect, shoulders straight, chin held high, and they will wish the staff Mission Bharat, Bharat Mata ki jai, and accordingly the staff will respond by Bharat Mata ki jai or Vande Mataram. हम बच्चों को झुकना नहीं सिखा रहे हैं, हम बच्चों को भारत माता को सलूट मारते हुए तन्ना सिखा रहे हैं. I want an attitude of an army officer, of a warrior in them. This is how I see. This is how I can make them understand what life and what attitude is all about. And a human without attitude is nothing. But I don't even consider a person, admirable or anything. I don't consider it a virtue if a person does not have attitude. So this I want to transfer in them, that their morals should be high, their virtue should be high, and they should stand straight, and they should have their chin high. So this is the whole idea. Let's see how it unfolds. And I'm sure we will do something, and you will do something, and we will work together, and we will bring an army officer in a remote village, and we will bring an army officer in son of a family which was a landless laborer. That is all I have to say. Thank you so much for giving me this time. And love you, Mansi. Love you, Dr. Ajit. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. That was amazing, and you are doing a wonderful job, sir. And I really, want to add one more thing. You are grooming the kids from the, class 3rd, class 1. It is amazing, and they will be definitely one day, follow your, all actually the nationalist what you are defining, and it is amazing, sir. Thank you very much for having you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Bye. Bye.
Yeah, yes. Thank you. Thank you very much. So, if anyone wants to ask or interact with Dr. Ahmed, can unmute yourself and can speak to him. Any questions? Can we have any questions?
So, how can the community join in to support this cause, Mission Bharat?
Ma'am,
Because
thank you so much.
Yeah.
Ma'am, thank you so much. Actually, right now we have admitted 10 kids, and as I said, that God has been kind to me. And the point is, once we start taking donations, ma'am, whatever we do, हम अपना सीना खोल के भी दिखा दें हनुमान जी की तरह, पर कोई यकीन नहीं करता.
जी 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 बिल्कुल.
बहुत बड़ी प्रॉब्लम है, because the moment you open your pockets to people, there will be people at the end of the day. I know people will question the expenditure and everything. So right now, at least for 2-3 batches, till about I reach 50 kids, because every year we will enroll 10 kids. These kids of class 3 will go in class 4th, and a new batch will come. Then this 4th will go in class 5, then a new batch will come. This is how we will keep on shifting and constructing classes. Already I'm preparing a swimming pool. We have constructed the yoga manch. We have constructed the construction of class 1 is on. My friend has donated 10. My friend has donated 10. My friend has donated 10 computers already. My very close friend, he was in class 3 with me, Mr. Amitabh Saran. So that is something different, that we can take some in-kind support from anyone. So at least till 3rd batch, I think I can manage. I'm doing okay in life. So I make 4 पैसे फालतू कमा लेता हूँ. So I will manage.
Wonderful cause.
Later on, I will see how I have to manage. But still, for 3 years, I need your blessing. That is all. Thank you so much.
Wishing you all the best, sir. It's a wonderful
Thank you,
cause,
ma'am.
and
Thank
I
you,
hope that we have more Rizwan Ahmeds like you, sir.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much.
And believe this. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Love you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Vinny?
Any questions?
Vinny?
Can we have our next panelist and our moderator?
Yes, please. I will.
Yeah, sure. I'm already there. Hi, everybody.
Yeah, so our last panel for today is on another very important topic, that is gender equality and inclusive societies. So making way for these societies. And to moderate this panel, I have Dr. Hina Hamid. As a panelist, we have Ms. Sonia Hussain. We have Anandita Pandey. Anandita, are you here? Can you please switch on your camera so that I can spotlight you?
I'm here. Just give me 1 second.
Yeah. And is Dr. Varija Bajaj ma'am here? Hello?
Miss Varija, are you there?
I think she's joining.
I think she tried to join and then, yeah, I think she's trying to join.
Okay.
Yeah, she was here. She's
trying here. She's here. She's here. I request, yeah, Ms. Varija to switch on her camera so that we can spotlight you.
Ananta is here. I cannot see Varija.
She's trying to join. She was here.
I think, yeah, she's here. She's here. I'm unable to spotlight because her video is off.
Yeah, okay.
Hello, Paricha, could you just respond if you're there? I don't know what's the problem.
Ms. Varija, are you here? I can see her in the meeting.
Yeah, she's, I think, trying to join. I don't know. I think her camera is having some problem.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, she's joining. I have communicated to her. She's just joining.
Dr. Hina Varija is with me and she's right here.
I request you people, you to kindly ask her to switch on the camera.
She's here, she's here.
Yeah, hi.
Hi.
So good afternoon, everyone. I welcome you to this requisite panel discussion about inclusivity in the society we live in and making way for the same. We are having this discussion connected to SDG goals 5 and 10, encompassing gender equality and reduced inequalities for all. A social inclusion.
I'll move to another room. I'll join you afterwards. Carry on.
A social inclusion where engagement of everyone is possible in the process by which society is managed, ordered, and represented is necessary for improving the ability and dignity of those who are deprived on the basis of their identity. One of the most notable manifestations of inequality worldwide is gender inequality and the exclusion of women .
Hello. I think we've lost Hina.
Foster engagement from every gender. We also observed various ugly forms of discriminatory practices towards differently abled or special children, like denial of disability, physical restraints, denial of property rights, etc. And addressing these fundamental barriers which cause these exclusions of such people, including discriminatory laws and policies, negative attitudes, and social stigma is also imperative. I'm Hina Hamid. I am an educator, researcher from Jamia Hamdard, and also a member of the Internal Complaints Committee of the university, which is a body responsible for the prevention and redressal of complaints of sexual harassment at the university. Along with me, I have two very bright minds and researchers, Ms. Astha Bhardwaj, who's also a faculty member of food in the Department of Food and Technology, and Ms. Adiba Bari, a research scholar in CEST, who will be acting as rapporteurs for this discussion. Are you people here, Beta? Kindly respond.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. We are privileged to have on board today in this session a panel of highly motivating and dynamic people who are committed to the cause of equitable society. It's a pleasure to have Ms. Sonia Hussain, who is also our guest of honor, and you have already watched a creative presented by Ms. Sonia Hussain. It was an eye-opener, a window showcasing prominent people from different walks of life, talking about rights and responsibilities and a possible roadmap to tackle the issues head-on in Bangladesh. I welcome you, Sonia.
Thank you. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Ms. Varija Bajaj, our other panelist today, is a leading entrepreneur in the Indian fashion segment and an interior designer. She is an inspiration to hundreds of aspiring women and is now a case study in Indian School of Business, Hyderabad, and a mentor to over 35 colleges across the country. She has been announced as one of the top 100 innovators by the World CSR Congress for her contribution to disability awareness. I welcome you, and we are eager to hear about the challenging aspects of your journey.
Humbled. Thank you.
We are also joined by Ms. Anandita, who is known for her commitment to women empowerment and social impact projects. I welcome you on board, Anandita.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
We would like to dive straight away into the discussion, and I would like to go across to Ms. Sonia. Sonia ji, you have been actively engaged with working on gender issues in Bangladesh. And there is a lot of discussion about being inclusive and the need to feel accepted and respected for who we are. And in your opinion and experience, how far did you find that it was true? And how do you visualize an inclusive society for all?
Okay, thank you so much for the question, and thank you so much for inviting me. Thank you again. You know, from the morning I have been with this event all day. I'm thoroughly enjoying this. There's so much to learn from different kind of people, and the opening was so good. I was so happy that every one of you liked the little 2 cents that I've tried to put, which is the audiovisual of Bangladesh, you know, the SDG goals of Bangladesh. I'm really glad that you guys liked it. And so yeah, thank you so much to invite me and then to be here with all of you. The question was, how do I visualize or imagine a world, right? A society, an inclusive society. So obviously I do imagine a world where there is not a single person, you know, not a single human being who's feeling alone or left out or isolated. That should be the first agenda, right? That no matter where you come from, I mean, in like any part of the world, India or Bangladesh, we are living in an extremely judgmental society. That's the reality, right? We live in a bubble and we live in a judgmental society. So I think it's a mindset that we should change. So no matter where you come from, rich or poor, middle class, upper class, man or woman, third gender, or, you know, we should accept them for who they are and accept their unique style. I mean, what we usually do is we sometimes become very mean, and we are very we try to imagine a world that, you know, this is the right image and this is the wrong image. We draw this own sketch of ourselves, which is pretty hard to digest, because people are different, people are unique. We often use you know, I have always been called out as very opinionative and, you know, difficult woman, because I speak a lot. You know, I raise issues. I talk about things which I shouldn't. I think here we have someone with me, ma'am. Zinat ma'am is here with me here as well, so she can understand a few things that I in Bangladesh. I mean, even today 80% of the population is Muslim. You know, it's a Muslim country. so it's even today in 2022, no matter how liberal and how progressive that we have become, or it looks like we are very progressive, but if you look into the deeper levels, you'll still see that we still have a lot of judgments. Like, it has been extremely challenging for me. I've said this many times, that for 18 years, it's been very challenging for me to be a woman who's a Muslim woman and who wants to be accepted in the society with the kind of job that I do. And no matter how much of education I've gained, achieved from England, I've done my law, I've seen many parts of the world, I've traveled a lot. Even then, there's still a taboo, a stigma, where people will still say, okay, at the end of the day, she's a woman, and what is she doing? What, making films, acting, and it's still looked down upon. So this has always been my fight for life, and I never get tired of this. I enjoy this, and when I see this, that a woman like me who can speak up and who can communicate and who's educated, if I'm facing so much of trouble, so you can imagine the rest of the women in the society who are perhaps a little bit more reserved or shy, or who's not that privileged, who doesn't have that platform to speak. Imagine what they go through. So this is a common problem, which is just not in the entertainment industry, which is everywhere, in corporate sector, in science, technology, everywhere. I would like to imagine a place where everybody is respected and loved for how they are. And I would also like to add on a little part of my story as well, is that I do have a little brother who is special. He's 23 years old. So my mom always says that the irony of her life is that she has got two kids. One is, speaks too much, and my brother is unable to speak. But obviously, he Alhamdulillah, we're very lucky to have him. He's a blessing in our family. But then again, my mom always says that, society is still very scared of kids with special needs. They sometimes feel that, they just get scared. So my mom says, मैं हिंदी में ही बोल लेती हूँ, मैं थोड़ा बहुत बोल लेती हूँ, एक दो, मेरी हिंदी इतनी अच्छी नहीं है, फिर भी I'll try. तो मेरी अम्मी कहती है कि मेरी किस्मत ही देखो, मेरे दोनों बच्चों को लोग डरते हैं दोनों से, एक इतनी बोल लेती है और दूसरा बोलता ही नहीं. So that's the thing, we should accept people the way they are, even if it's someone who's ambitious, loud, and or someone who's shy and reserved, or someone with special need, or someone who, as I said, male, female, or a trans, third gender. All of them, all of us should be accepted the way we are, and not just accepted, like really be welcomed, and really be given an equal platform to speak our mind and pursue our dreams and contribute. I mean, this is for our benefit that we should do it, so in the bigger picture, this is the kind of inclusive society that I would like to see. I know it sounds very too good to be true, but it is possible. We're getting there. There's a long way to go, but the changes are being made.
About the ground reality so honestly, and the people trying to compartmentalize our behavior, assign social roles to us, and how women are actually fighting against those barriers. I'll get back to you. I'll like to go across to Varija first. Everybody knows about your work with special children, and about your project, Varija Life, a research project on the clothing needs of special children, which has been instrumental in bringing to the forefront the gaps in identifying needs of differently abled people and strategies to mainstream them. My question to you is, what kind of challenges did you face in trying to break those barriers causing this exclusion, and what can be done actually on ground level to mainstream the special and differently able children so that they can contribute positively to the society?
Thank you so much, Hina. And Thank you so much to even bring this up. And, I like every platform that gives me the opportunity or even starts talking about this, because I think that's the starting point. I started this journey about 17 years ago, professionally as a fashion and an interior designer. And out of pure curiosity, I thought that if I'm blessed to design for people who can speak, I have my 3 apparel brands, commercially successful, then I'm probably blessed to design for people who cannot speak. Somebody sitting in the wheelchair the entire day, an autistic child who might have special needs, color psychology, or a Down syndrome kid who has an eagle chest. And I realized that there was absolutely no literature in this space. There were few theses here and there in a couple of international universities, which were done by people who were, some family member was personally affected. But till date, I wouldn't say there is enough data in this space, in the clothing space. And it took me a lot of time because I'm not personally affected. Nobody in my family is affected. But I'm on the other side of 40s, and I really want to do what I really, really want to do in life. And I think that because I'm associated with all these colleges, why don't they teach clothing for people with disabilities? It's clothing, right? I mean, fashion designers are supposed to resolve problems of clothing of individuals, and why omit out this 15% population? So I'm nudging the Ministry of Textiles to introduce clothing for people with disabilities, in the fashion colleges. That of course requires 2 skill sets. One is having knowledge of design and having knowledge of disability. But I ended up opening a Pandora's box, because it's not just about clothing. It is about accessibility. It is about inclusion. It is about something what Sonia said. It is about acceptance and respect for the person, for who they are, and for your own self as well. So if I were to, just share sheer numbers, in India, we admit to bear 2.5, 2.6% of disability. So out of our total population, so WHO says worldwide average 15% of our population is disabled. US accepts somewhere close to about 26, 27% of its population as disabled. UK accepts up to 25% of its population as disabled, but India accepts only 2.5 or 2.6% as disabled. Now, it's a mockery in the sense that a country like US and UK, which is far ahead in terms of education and health infrastructure, is admitting such a large number, whereas India is still admitting just 0.2, 0.5%. So acceptance of who we are. And I'll share another example, because I also host this international conference on disability. So NHS UK, that's the National Health Services. It's a government body. So it conducted a survey where it asked its employees about their disability. If anybody is disabled, they were supposed to admit it. And there were about 3% of its workforce that admitted itself as disabled. Then they conducted another survey where they said that don't reveal your identity, an anonymous survey. Now tell us how many of you are disabled. 20% of them admitted that they were disabled. So the moment there's anonymity and you don't have to come forward and admit. Now, I don't blame them for the simple reason, and I would presume that the similar situation is here in India, where why are we not going beyond 2.5%? Because a lot of people are not admitting their disability. Why are they not admitting their disability? Because you and me have not made a safe environment for their movement, be it accessibility, be it respect, be it pride. We still manipulate with the words specially abled, differently abled. They are disabled and they should be proud. And most of who I know, they hate to be called differently abled. They want to be called people with disability, and they take pride in the fact that they are disabled. So I mean, when I got into the sector, I was told, please don't call us differently abled. I was told if I was written, UN says PWDs, people with disabilities, but we try to manipulate the word differently abled or specially abled. They confront me that, why are you trying to manipulate with this word? The fact remains that we are disabled, and we take pride in that. So I think the starting point is admission, and admission of our own disability, admission of our own mental health. A lot of us, I think, if we are not given a conducive environment, and I think all of us have gone through COVID, depressions and stresses, it can happen to anyone. And it could be sporadic or it could be a permanent disability. So acceptance is the first starting point, which I would suggest all the participants here talk about it. Second, create a safe space. Don't brush it. Don't snub the person who's admitting their stress, their depression, their disability, or something that they are not able to handle in life. I think it just calls for being more kind to people around. And that's it. Apart from that, I think everybody here in their own professions, they can include people with disabilities with their little kindness. When I talk about films, nobody had heard of dyslexia before Tare Zameen Pe. Why should not more films be made on these subjects? There are filmmakers here, entrepreneurs. Why should not provisions be made for people with disabilities in your system? We are having a live Zoom recording. How many of us, are we even aware that the Zoom sessions have closed captioning options where the voice to text option is there at the bottom? So we are just not aware, even if the technology is around. So I think, like when I talk about fashion designers, so it's not just about people with disabilities, it's just about that sense of sensitivity. So all of us are heading towards old age disability, right? All of us are will have a glaucoma, cataract, Alzheimer's, or Parkinson's, and all of us will be on the bed on the wheelchairs with arthritis. It's disability, right? So it's not a different breed of people that we are talking about. We are talking about us. All of us are heading towards that. So it's not that 15% population. So the balance 85% population thinks that this 15% is somebody else. They don't belong to us. They're very much part of us. And we, at some point, it's like somebody jokes that, we're all just temporarily abled bodies. Eventually, all of us will become disabled. So don't work towards them, or don't try to be nice to them because it is some CSR activity or you're doing some charity, but because at some point you also need that kind of respect. So that's the starting point. Apart from that, I think the professions that you're in, all possible professions that you're exploring, be it media, be it entertainment, be it journalism, include people with disabilities. Don't make them martyrs, don't make them heroes, because all what we see on social media, and social media tends to, it's a money-making business. All it tends to push in terms of content is something that gets viral. What gets viral is when you make people with disabilities heroes. They're doing something different. They're trying to, somebody who's an amputee trying to climb the stairs, and oh my God, wow, how you managed to do that. No, that's reality for them. They're not trying to be heroic, or they're not trying to come to a pedestal where you worship them. So I think the narrative around journalism has to change. Why don't we see the magazine covers or the fashion covers cover magazines with people with disabilities? I mean, they can be equally sexy. So why not? I think the conversations and the narratives, the media, the way the films are coming, the moment we see a person with disability, somebody on the wheelchair in a film, at least a Indian Bollywood film, most likely they're villains. I mean, what kind of narratives that are being creative? So I think that really needs to change in all possible spheres. Interior designers, it's far cheaper to create a ramp than to create a stair. So why not? I mean, I stay in Noida, and there's this initiative called the Pink Toilet for Women. बहुत बड़ा बड़ा ना एक board लगा हुआ है with a wheelchair, accessible for people with disabilities. Okay, so there's a special washroom for women who are disabled. Common sense. Whoever passed the drawings, there are 3 stairs to go up to that washroom. So there are 3 steps. Number 2, the washroom opens inside. you know. So the moment it opens inside, you take your wheelchair, how will you close it? You possibly can't close it. So I think even the decision making has to, especially in certain places, be it education, Dr. Zeenat is here. I think it's very important to include people from various spheres of life, be it disability, be it various ethnicities, be it various genders, because only they can tell you their pain. So the moment we start imagining their pain and we start taking decisions for them, I think we are just spoiling the broth. So for all the people who've joined here, I think you will be at some point, or you might be even now, taking certain decisions. So do include people from various aspects, you know, ethnicities, genders, thought processes. It'll make your life beautiful. And that's where I'm from.
Thanks, Varija. Yeah, I totally agree that denial is a big issue, and the social stigma attached to disability again plays a part. And a lot of work needs to be done towards sensitization and awareness in this area. I have more questions for you, but I'll first take on another panelist, that is Anandita. Hi, Anandita. She's a counseling psychologist and with vast experience in the field of mental health and gender. And she has done extensive groundwork on raising feminist consciousness and leadership with the women of Himachal Pradesh. Anandita, since you work with different kinds of people at grassroots level, what do you find, in your opinion, is one common thing in this gender inequality and inclusion, which you find everywhere, and how can it be addressed to stamp out disparity against women as well as transgender community?
Okay, thank you for that wonderful introduction. I think the one most common thing which is there across all cultures, across all borders, I'm sure, is that we all live in a man's world, right? And one thing which is common across cultures when we talk about gender equality and gender inclusion is gender inequality and gender exclusion. Like, that's the first word that comes to my mind when we actually think about it. And you know how there is like gender segregation everywhere, how there is a lot of resistance towards gender equality. And when we talk about feminism, for example, how the first reaction is that, okay, maybe feminism means like the exact opposite of patriarchy, which is right now, you know, very prevalent. So it probably means that women will be more powerful, while we're just asking to, you know, come at a place where at least our starting line is the same, like we start from the same point. So yeah, I mean, we're all living in a man's world, and all of our experiences, they are very, you know, shadowed by patriarchy, very shadowed by a lot of sexism, no matter where we live. And so I have been brought up in Delhi. I've lived in a city, and then my first full-time job was in Himachal, and it was in a rural community. And, you know, like somehow, like because of our privilege, I think we grow up, a lot of us, we believe that gender-based violence, patriarchy, it's more prevalent in smaller communities. It is more prevalent in lower socioeconomic backgrounds. But I think there, like, one thing that I realized when I went there was that it was more visible there. Like, there people, especially, like, you know, if they're coming from like a lower SES background, or if they're from smaller communities, they don't have a status to lose, which is very much present in cities. So in cities, this violence, this prevalence of patriarchy or sexism, it is often very shadowed. It is not as visible, while it is very, very visible in these other communities, the gender-based violence. And you know, the women there, like, there will be violence, and they will come out, they will scream, they will, you know, like sort of create a scene, and they will make sure that people know, while maybe in cities it is happening behind closed doors and nobody would ever know. Even like somebody living right next door to that individual would never find out. And a lot of gendered segregation, a lot of gendered upbringing, you know, like from the moment a child is born, no matter where they are born. If it's a girl, you put a doll in her hand. If it's a boy, you put a car in his hand. You know, like how we dress girls in pink and we dress boys in maybe blue or black and gray, and how we're just sort of teaching gender to them. We are inculcating gender within them, and that is what is being internalized. And we want, there are 8 billion of us, and we want 4 billion people to behave in a same way, and the other 4 billion people to behave in the same way, which is very unrealistic and which is so like restrictive in nature. So yeah, I mean, I feel like it's very, very important to be very flexible when we talk about gender. You know, it's very important to broaden our definitions of masculinity, broaden our definitions of femininity, or maybe not have any definitions at all to begin with. And also how, like, when a girl is growing up, you sort of start restricting her movement, and when a boy is growing up, you sort of start giving them more freedom, you know. And how you tell girls to stay at home and do all the domestic chores and take care of all the domestic work, while a boy or a growing, you know, a young man, they are supposed to take care of all the household, all the outside spaces, all the outdoor work. So a lot of gendered upbringing, a lot of gendered roles that we are imposing. Even in schools, we would have a separate uniform for a girl, we would have a separate uniform for a boy. How we address a girl, and you know, as Miss Sonia also mentioned that how she has faced a lot of resistance when she was speaking out, and she has been labeled as opinionated. So how we categorize a girl as a good girl and a bad girl, right? We have certain definitions of good girl, certain definition, these categories that we have, while we don't have those things for boys. For boys, we have a very simple line that boys will be boys. That's it. There is no good boy, there is no bad boy when we talk about that. So a lot of you know, rethinking that we need to do. I think a lot of unlearning that we need to do, and also understanding how this is also impacting the men in a very major way. And I remember, so I am a psychology teacher as well, so I was teaching class 12th, and we were talking about depression. There's a chapter on psychological disorders, and there's this one line mentioned in that chapter that women tend to report more depression. Okay, that's it, no context. So are we telling the children that women, as you know, like they're born and they have this tendency to be depressed? And are we not, why are we not talking about the gendered experiences which is leading to that diagnosis, right? And if you look at the data, men tend to die with suicide more often. Women are reporting depression more, but men are dying by suicide more often. So again, you know, like it all comes down, it is not about gender, but it is about the gendered experiences that we are having when we are born as a man or when we are born as a woman. And women are reporting more depression because they have all these, you know, patriarchal experiences, so much of sexism which is experienced from the moment they are born. And men are dying by suicide because nobody talks to them about expressing their emotions, nobody talks to them about reaching out for help, about, you know, like providing them a space where they can cry. Like the first thing we tell them is boys don't cry, boys don't, you know, they don't complain, you have to toughen up, you have to man up. That's what we say. And also another very important thing, that how we use the idea of femininity or the idea of girliness as an insult. Like this person is, this woman is so girly, while the idea of being a man, you know, the idea of masculinity is taken so much pride in, that you know, this person is masculine enough. That is a very big like something which is to be very proud of, while being girly or attaching, having things which are very feminine in nature is sort of seen like an insult. So a lot of, you know, things that are very common in our day-to-day lives, very, very general that we see, but they are also very problematic in nature. And another thing that I feel is that there is a lot of resistance when we talk about certain affirmative actions that are taken. And I think this is something which is across all categories. It's not just limited to gender, but since we're talking about gender, so when there is reservation for women or when there is some special provision made for women, it is considered a privilege. Like it is. So I remember when in Delhi, there were the ladies coach in the metro was started, and or even like a few years back, I remember our honorable Chief Minister Kejriwal, he had announced that the metro rides for women will become free. And there was a lot of resistance, there was a lot of bashing around that you know, why do women have this privilege? They have a free, they have their own coach, and you know, and they think that it is about us having a seat of our own, while for us it is just about not getting harassed in a metro, right? So like we really don't care about the seat, we just don't want to get harassed in a public transport. So similarly about free rides, it is about providing access to a lot of women who might not be able to afford metro rides, who might not be able to go to their jobs or their educational institutions because they can't, you know, afford, or their families want to divert that money to something more meaningful, which might be for them, as compared to putting in that money for the girls' education. So these, you know, free, making metro free for women, making bus free for women, it is not about privilege, it is just about, you know, providing a space where they can also have the same starting line as men. So, and like if we talk about disabilities, if we talk about castes, you know, how we have reservations for individuals with disability, for individuals coming from certain castes, and again a lot of resistance which is there. It is considered, it is seen as a privilege that, oh, they score so less and they still get into the colleges, they still get these jobs. But it is about, you know, are we looking at the kind of accessibilities and opportunities that they did not have as compared to someone from a more privileged background who did have them. So yeah, it is a lot around equity. It is a lot around providing equal opportunities, providing equal accessibility. And when we talk about implementing certain things which could, you know, really help towards gender equality. So I think it's very, very important to, again, broaden our definitions and, you know, understand how gender, it's not biological, it is not natural, it is more of a social construct. It is all created by the society. Everything that you take about gender, nothing is inborn, right? If you take a photo of two babies, you can't tell who is a girl and who is a boy. But the moment somebody wears a frock, the moment somebody wears a pant and a shirt, we know it. We hear a voice, we hear a name, and we instantly know that, okay, this is a girl and this is a boy. But what if that boy doesn't want to be a boy? And, you know, or maybe what if that boy wants to have nail paint on their hands? Are they less of a boy? Are we looking at them as less of a man? What if that boy grows up and they want to wear a sari? What if they, you know, want to have long hair? So like, do we label them as women then, or do we accept them for who they are, and we understand that, you know, this is not being less of a man, and if they want to be a man and wear a sari, or, you know, if they want to be a woman and ride a bike, or, you know, just do like whatever is labeled as the man's job or the man's thing, does that make them any less of a woman? Or is it just, you know, about broadening these definitions and broadening our understanding of gender and understanding that how it is very, very social? And when we broaden these definitions, it also gives a lot of space to individuals who are gender fluid, who are gender queer, who do not want to fit into any of the boxes, right? They want to, you know, they might want to identify as non-binary. They might want to, maybe today they want to be a man and tomorrow they want to be a woman, and that's completely okay, because who are we to tell them that, no, you know, you have to choose a category or you have to have a label? Because it is, how does it matter to us, and how does it bother us, and why is it making us uncomfortable? Asking that question to ourselves rather than correcting other people, and holding a more inclusive and a more open space for all kind of individuals. I think that is like the very important step that we all need to take. Ma'am, I think you're on mute.
Hina, yeah, you're on mute, Miss Hina.
I'm sorry. It was really a very meaningful perspective about broadening our definitions of gender and bias in upbringing, in behaviors, and while as what is actually sought by everybody is equal opportunity. I have a quick question for Ms. Sonia again, that do you think it is still difficult for women to talk about their problems and the kind of mistreatments they receive at the hands of others at their workplaces or wherever? And do you think it's still difficult for women to talk about them and seek help?
Absolutely, yes. I think yes. As I said, I have always faced a lot of problems which on the surface of it you can't really see it. I can't really pull up a issue and say, okay, that's a hashtag Me Too issue that I faced. I can't just straight away say it, but there's so many other ways where you don't need to oppress, like you don't need to, there's so many other ways you oppress a woman, intellectually, you pull down someone with many other dirty politics that can't be seen really on the surface of it, and you can't really blame anyone, but that these are the things that's going on. So what happened with me is every time I raised my voice or every time I said something, I've always got a lot of support from all the women, but in private. So I've never got support from women publicly because they always had this fear of losing jobs. They've always had this fear of losing work. And as artists, we already have a very uncertain, career and life. It's you really need to know your game, and you need to know where you stand. It's a very, very challenging, demanding profession, and people don't really want to mess with other people. They want to play it safe. So what happens is lots of women in our workplace as well faces a lot of problems, but they will never address it publicly. They will support me, in a private space, and they would say, go girl and all that, but not in a public place because they don't want to lose jobs. So I have just decided, I am the black sheep. It's okay. I will lose all the jobs. Koi baat nahi. My mom always says, sometimes you need people like me as well, who will always go the other path and who will be rebellious and who will fight and who will create her own path. And it's okay. It's always going to be 10 times more harder, but I will always try to follow my heart and do what is right for me and other women. But as I was saying that, women are still under a lot of pressure. So I do speak to artists or people from the entertainment industry who are 10-15 years older than me, but they still say the same thing, that I can't say this, I can't write this. If it's you, I know you will do it, and I have done it multiple times, and so basically I do understand, that they also tell me that it's not everyone is pagla like you, but sometimes you need some pagles, otherwise it's just going to get so much harder and tougher, because I don't want to raise a girl or a daughter who will go through these pressures, because this is something, it takes it takes a lot mentally as well to deal with so much of pressure like that. And if you I would like to thank, definitely, I don't know how I forgot, the most important woman in my life, my mother, who always said, okay, go for it. I know she's taking another challenge here. It's okay, no problem, go for it. So we need mothers like my mother. We need moms who are like, it is a man's world, but it is, first of all, it is your world. And you can't be like a doll in a man's world like that. You have to build yourself and create that path for yourself. And it will never be a easy one. My journey has never been easy, and it will never be easy. And there's no shortcuts. Yeah, so it takes time. It needs a lot. There's a lot of sacrifices, but yeah, there's the women are still being very scared. And I sometimes, I think once I said this on Facebook or something, I just said, why can you not talk against this man? He's no god or prophet, God forbid. That was very wrong of me to say that. I've removed the status afterwards. But you know what I'm trying to say is, why are you so scared of a man? Why are you so scared of, you know, similarly, if the same thing has been done by a woman, if she is a you know, female producer or a female director or a female, you're not really scared of her. You're like, okay, wo to aurat hai, you know, she's not going to be here for too long. But the man, he's the, you know, lambi race ki goda. And you know, you have this mindset, why are you so scared of these men? You know, so I am like this. So easily, you know, people get scared of me, and this is the thing. So it's very challenging for a woman like me. मुझे भी अभी भी बहुत, you know, मेरे लिए बहुत ही tough है. So you can just imagine that for the rest of the women, kitna tough hota hai.
It's really commendable, and actually raising a voice is necessary. And although we have seen some shift, but still a lack of proper support is a miss. I have a similar question to, thank you, Sonia. I have a similar question to Varija also. As a women entrepreneur in the business scene, were you ever at the receiving end of any discrimination or microaggressions, as Sonia put it, like it is subtle, these are microaggressions, and because of your gender? And if so, can you help our students to prepare to tackle similar situations by sharing your experience?
Oh, I think it's just the mindset to a certain extent. I don't know. I've never focused on that part. I won't say it didn't exist. It exists. It exists all the time. I come from a family where the women of the family don't work. I had to put a battle there. I had to really explain and, you know, go through multiple Cold Wars. And then, you know, I'm a double postgraduate. So even to study and get out of my house and go for these multiple degrees and then get into professions, which was, again, you know, I'm from an advertising background, then fashion and all of that. Been there, done that. All the infamous professions I've been into. And Sonia, of course, knows the casting couch bit of it. But, you know, when you're, so going out to work is actually going to fight a battle. और जो सामने से गोली आ रही होती है ना, उसको पता नहीं होता कि वो आदमी को लगेगी या औरत को लगेगी. तो लड़ना है, बस लड़ो. I mean, forget it that you're a woman or a man. I mean, just work and let the other people. So, you know, when I started work, it just sounds so so small, but you know, when I started work and, you know, being in the production front, being in interiors architecture, you're dealing with a lot of labor. And so I would never get my hands painted, you know, I would never put a nail polish, there would not be any makeup, I'll never put a bangle. And I got married into a Marwadi family, you know, where the mother-in-law was very insistent कि नहीं गला खाली नहीं होना चाहिए, you know, wear something in your neck. I'm like, no, you know, I'm not going to wear any jewelry. I have 3 sets of clothes in my car, depending on where I'm going to. Am I going to a TV channel? I'm going to a production house, or so deal with it. And so those were different times. I mean, 17 years ago, I think when I started work, I used to talk like a man. I used to walk like a man. I used to behave like a man. My language was like a man. So my pitch, my tone, you know, there was no femininity. I mean, some days I used to, is there any women actually left in me? But I think slowly when now after so many years, when I look at it on hindsight, I'm very comfortable in my skin. I have this brand called Office and You, which is workwear for women. And a lot has changed, not just in my life, but overall a lot has changed. Women have really come out in the last 15, 17 years and really respected for who they are. and very comfortable in their skin. Earlier, if I were to even talk about the kind of clothing, the women would actually wear shoulder padded jackets, because a man is supposed to have, upright shoulders, and women are supposed to be like this. And that's what a woman would wear at work. So if you go to a Marks and Spencer or any of these international brands, that is how they used to design clothes, like a man. So workwear for women was like behaving like a man. The colors were blacks and blues and grays. Hello, women love red and pink and orange and yellows, and why not? So now you see blazers in those colors, but go back 10 years, you'll not find colors like a pink and a yellow blazer ever. So to say, and I'll again, we are talking about women. So I work a lot in the space of creating algorithms for body structures. There's something called I'm going a little technical, but it'll leave a thought in your mind. This is called a cross front, in fashion design. We take these measurements. This is called a cross front. And similarly, backside, go 5 inches down your neck. That's called a cross back. So this is a cross front measurement, and that's a cross back. In India, 95% of the women, they have a cross front lesser than what it is at the back. So let's say an average Indian woman, 5 feet 2 inches in height, would have a 12.5-inch cross front, and back would be 13.5-inch, right? Because our back is slightly curved. Go to US. The cross front will be more for a woman and cross back will be less. Why? Because in India, women are taught to be like this. So our cross fronts are less. Go to US and women are told that this is your asset, show it out, bust out. Your cross front is more. Now that is what so it's not something that I have gone through or Sonia has gone through or Anandita or all of us, all the women have gone, but this is the reality that we are dealing with. But then when you're out there to work, you're out there, even in colleges, the examination paper doesn't know whether you're a man or a woman. So there are umpteen opportunities at the same time. And I think you just have to start believing that if it's not happening for you, it's probably for good. Just move on. And probably that's what I've done. So a lot of things that came my way and could not materialize, maybe because I was a woman, I never had that thought in my mind. I never let it malign my own thought process. I thought maybe mere mein kuch kami hoga, not as a woman, but maybe, I'm falling short of efforts and something better happened. So I would just steer away from the thought of being oppressed as a woman. I didn't let it affect me at any point.
That's great. So ideas to keep a positive attitude and move ahead with confidence. All right. Anandita, I would like to ask you one final question. Do you think gender equality will be a reality anytime soon? What is your perspective on that?
Being very, very honest, I feel like it's a long fight. It's a very, very long struggle. And I think a lot of us, we come from very privileged backgrounds where this battle still seems a little easier, but there are a lot of parts of our country, of the world where, even this isn't even a beginning right now. So I think it will be a very long fight, and I don't think it's there anytime soon, but yeah, we need to keep the fight on. We need to, have more of these conversations, have more of these platforms where we can reach out, and also, using our privilege to pass on the mic, not speaking on behalf of other people, but passing on that mic and making sure that they have their own voice, and providing them these spaces, providing them these platforms where they can also reach out, where they can also speak up. And again, using our privilege to reach out to spaces, take this, maybe the knowledge or the awareness that we carry because of, so I feel like I wouldn't have had, you know, this understanding if I weren't in, like, if I hadn't been brought up in Delhi, or if I hadn't had the college that I was in. And so like I come from a lot of privilege. That is why I have this understanding, I have this knowledge. So it's very important for me as a person to take all of this to other spaces where they might not have that opportunity, they might not have that space. So yeah, I think it will be a long fight, but we need to keep going, and we need to like take this and pass it on as much as we can and spread the word as much as we can. And I think it is a little easier now because of social media, because of how, you know, like we can sort of easily access spaces which we might not have been able to do otherwise. So yeah, I think a lot of social media advocacy, and like right now we're having this discussion over Zoom from like all across the country, from even beyond the country, like Miss Sonia. So yeah, I think it is very important to use these spaces to take up spaces wherever we require, and yeah, pass on these conversations and take them forward.
Yeah, I totally agree that it is still an unfinished business, and we have come a long way. We have seen some shifts, but we still have an exceptionally long way to go in achieving the goal of gender equality, and actually addressing the fundamental barriers causing these exclusions, as well as we have to work towards the discriminatory laws, policies, social stigma. We need social as well as maybe a spiritual revolution, and reinforcing the means of equality in the areas of capacity building, technology, finance, policy, and institutional coherence to mainstream the marginalized is vital for developing holistically prosperous society. It was wonderful to have you today with us for this groundbreaking discussion, and laying bare the discriminations of the socially marginalized communities we face even in today's world. I'm highly thankful to all of you. Maybe we can have a quick question from, is somebody interested?
I don't have a question. I just want to substantiate the things which I have heard, and I think I belong to the club here, and little divided here and there, a bit with Varija, a bit with Sonia, a little bit with Anandita, and of course my own opinions. So I pay this obeisance to all the women here who has been created women, and I totally align with Varija. Why do we need to become like man? औरत जैसा और रहने में क्या बुराई है? क्यों मर्द जैसा बनना? क्यों उस चीज की तरफ देखना? अभी जब अल्लाह ताला ने आपको दिया है, क्रिएशंस बनाई हैं, तो बहुत जस्टिस के साथ बनाई हैं. Why should I not be the way I want to be, or I have been created? Why my femininity is not what should be respected, but I should honor myself? So I firmly believe in that, and being woman is, I think, my part. So I will be a woman and I will behave like a woman, and it is between you and me to decide. Accept me or don't accept me, let me be the woman, the creation of Almighty Allah, who has created me with a lot of love. And it has been told again and again that we are the best and the beautiful creations of Almighty, and we definitely owe to him. Absolutely. The Kafi asked me as beautifully, but don't put me in a bracket and that way. He says, "Tu haqiqat bhi hai, dilchasp kahani hi nahi. Tu haqiqat bhi hai, dilchasp kahani hi nahi. Teri hasti bhi hai, ek cheez Javani hi nahi." So the hasti is there. So I think I am blessed to be born in a religion, in the community which has empowered me by birth. My religion gives me so much of freedom, and I have the interpretation of the religion could be something else, but my religion I know has given me everything. I am blessed to be the freest of the women, the best of the creations, and I believe in that. And my heart goes out to the concept what Varija and Sonia brought up in the beginning about the disability. Again, it just crossed my mind. I apologize, and Allah forgive me if I'm not quoting it in the right context, in the right way. There is a hadith which says कि अल्लाह ताला अपना इम्तिहान लेता है अपनी क्रिएशंस को आपके बीच में डाल के. मान लीजिए अगर कोई डिसेबल्ड क्रिएशन है, तो ये इम्तिहान हम सबका है कि हाउ वी आर रिस्पॉन्डिंग टू दैट गॉड्स क्रिएशन. ये नहीं है कि कोई अंधा है तो उसको अंधा कह के हम उसकी तौहीन करें. Allah Ta'ala ne usko agar hamare, for example, Sonia, so I could actually feel her compassion and love for his brother. And when she said that he's a blessing to us, indeed, he must be a blessing. He has been created, he has been given to them, and he is given to this world. तो हम लोग के लिए बहुत जरूरी ये समझना है कि हम कैसे उसके लिए react करें. We are answerable to Almighty Allah for sure if we are not behaving the way we are expected to behave with this individual. It was Allah's choice, and He came with him. I think Sonia, you are like absolutely an empowered woman, and I'm sure that the type of tribulations and trials which your family must have undergone, I think that is a battle for all of us to see and visualize, and inshallah all will remain well. Allah has been really kind to all of us. Thank you so much, and it was a lovely, lovely discussion. And I think it's a complex topic, like always, having many, many opinions on that. We will primarily have to have, I think, a marathon sessions on this, and then still this discussion will not be over. Sonia, you will have to travel all over to India.
Thank you. You know, Zeenat, I was supposed to be there in Delhi.
I know,
right?
I know.
Yeah, so it got postponed. Inshallah, if God wills, next month I will come and see you guys, inshallah. But you really made me all emotional.
No, I don't have to. We are emotional. I always say that we are emotional, and that's our part.
Is this being recorded?
Yes, it is.
Don't worry.
Absolutely fine to be your true self. It is always welcome to be your truest self. We are emotional, and emotion is our part. I think we say when we are overflowed with passion and all, that is what we are. So that is what holds us.
That's what makes us human.
That absolutely well said, Hina.
You're amazing, Zina. Thank you so much to all of you, like all the ladies. Honestly, it was really nice to see you, like know you guys and hear you out, all of you. Anandita, Parija, and Hina, everyone. Zeenat, I love the way you talk. You just move people, and you say it from your heart. So yeah, be yourself.
Alhamdulillah, all blessing of Allah.
Be yourself, and
inshallah.
Yeah, and I think we should all be.
I actually speak from my heart. Sometimes I really am in problems. when it comes from the heart, you're like in different role. Absolutely different way. Anyways, that's the
amazing. Listening to your journeys, your challenges, the challenges you faced. I am really highly obliged and thankful. I'm also thankful to my two young friends, Asta and Adiba, who were here to help me out. We still have a long way to go. And inshallah, we'll reach there soon, and we'll be able to break those barriers. Thank you all, and have a very good day.
Maybe over to Meghna for tomorrow's program. Any discussions or anything which you would like to announce?
Yes, over to you, Meghna.
Yeah, thank you so much. It was really wonderful. I did not want it to end at all, and I also want to commend Hina ma'am, because she really moderated the panel discussion in a beautiful way.
Thank you.
No doubt.
So big clap for that, and each one of you, amazing. Wish I could be also part of this and add my viewpoints as well. So it was wonderful. So I've been busy on the chat box, really. So thank you.
Another thing to mention here, again, Allah helped us, and Varija landed in Jamia Hamdard, and she is
it's a pleasure
of Jamia Hamdard. It's a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so we shall be all gathering again tomorrow from 10:30. We'll have another very, very riveting day, I'm sure. We'll have a lot of interactions, and it was wonderful. We had a good first day of the event. So thank you everyone who participated, who joined us, and who contributed. So thank you, everyone, and let us meet again tomorrow at 10:30. So don't miss, more to come. I hope I have done my bit. If anybody
I would just like to add a very thank you to Aditya sir. Yes. He has been very patiently,
the whole
kindly being there throughout the days, right before 10:30, and he's there with us till the end of it. Thank you so much, sir. You've been very good.
The entire day, it was so productive. And especially this session was so naturally flowed. Exactly. Everyone is coming out from real dil se. And there was no one to disturb, nothing. And probably that is why during this session, not even once my laptop gone hung. Otherwise, in the beginning, I had to rejoin and all because it was giving trouble. This was as smooth as the session went. It was so beautiful to listen to all of you. I was really fortunate to be here throughout and to listen to such beautiful words and such beautiful experiences. Thank you so much to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you.
You are an inspiration. Thank you so much.
I would also like to thank Sylvia. Even she is with us since morning.
Yeah.
Even though she was there with her panel timing was different, but she's still there through the inauguration. Thank you so much, Sylvia, for being with us. And thank you so much, everyone, for making this first day a memorable one. Thank you so much.
Gayatri, I mentioned here, many of my colleagues are here. I can see Dr. Abru Aman, Dr. Humaira, Dr. Saeed, Dr. Kalpana. Wonderful to have all of them, and it really means a lot. That means they are aligned to everything which we are doing, and that's a big strength, mashallah.
And I would like to just add one thing. Thank you so much, Gayatri. इनको मैंने पूरे दिन बहुत knock किया, and she's so patient and so kind. I'm very technologically challenged, so I have to continuously get help. So it was really nice. She's always so supportive, so kind.
Always.
So all of you
all of us are to be
wonderful
blamed. Many of us have been troubling her parallelly.
Yeah, she is very patient. Thank you, Gayatri. Thank you, Mansi. I don't know where is she there now or not, but thank you so much for arranging this. This is so beautifully done. Great day. Amazing.
And just one more thing, the Jamia Hamdard is so close to my heart because in Delhi, when I was there in 2001, Jamia Hamdard was the first institute to have invited me for a talk with the children. And there was a gentleman, I'm so sorry to forget his name. He was a professor there who was also with me with the SCD committee in FICCI. So there we got friends, and then he listened to me in one of the sessions at FICCI, and he said, why don't you come and talk to our children? So I'm so close to that because that was the first assignment in Delhi, some 21 years back.
Thanks a lot. It means a lot, sir.
And I would love to come back to the campus again.
Sir, now you would be troubled.
It was nice, and I could see so many students out here. They were so bubbly and charming in with their minds and what they want to really come out with. They really deserve nice grooming like you are giving them. And I could notice the relationship between you and your students. So that's a real teacher and taught real relationship should be.
I'm getting goosebumps as you were saying it, sir. It's really, really.
A lot of responsibilities, you know. You need to pull up your socks.
I know.
Yeah. It's our duty to empower them with the ability to respond. That makes them responsible. And they would do it. We have a very good generation coming out throughout the world. They're more sensible than we were at that age.
I totally align.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, everyone. See you all.
And Sonia, I believe that you will be there tomorrow as well. We have some very good sessions tomorrow also.
Yes, I will be here, sir.
Even I don't have to participate, but listening to these ideas and minds, it's a blessing. Thank you so much.
Amazing. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. Thanks a lot.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Allah Hafiz. Take care.
Allah Hafiz.
Take care, everyone. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.